All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakar, Hakwadash, double honors to the apostles of GMS, and sincere Shalom to the brothers out here pushing this truth and sincerity. And it says, for the title, it says, why make a people-eating robot? And this is what they're doing in China. And I'm going to play the clip because, actually, I'm not going to play the full thing, just about half of it maybe. But this is what they're doing now. And they went from making, and Saki, they went from making the whole small robot tank to making, actually, Saki, the order was they're starting with actual people being robots to smaller robots looking like tanks that can pretty much or they're trying to adapt making their own AI into killing machines. And now they're doing this. Now, if I remember correctly, and the elder in my camp, my father, he was telling me that years ago, and I believe I remember seeing this in a video once, but that was a movie in black and white showing how in military, when there was martial law, when they had to kill someone, they would put them up, there would be a whole stack of bodies inside of a truck, and they would carry it off to be crushed off somewhere. Now they're doing it with these actual robots that they could do it on the spot. So I'm gonna just go ahead and play this clip so you can see it.
Now, I don't know exactly what China is doing here, but it does look awfully close to the energetically autonomous tactical robot, aka the Eaterbot. As the robot could forage for biomass to fuel itself, what was cancelled in 2022, as rumors speculated it could, or would, ingest humans. But it looks like China is right back on top of it. And maybe this bot has a different function, but just like when Boston Dynamics demoed their robot dogs dancing, China went straight into using them to enforce lockdown restrictions. And now they seem to be raising an army of these guys. Which I wonder, are these robot dogs going to ever replace their stormtroopers in the streets? Especially when it's been seen they can now be mounted with a sniper attachment. And how long until the US starts to deploy these as well? As Biden was introduced to the Boston Dynamics robot, and they had been deployed in Hawaii.
Is used to screen individuals at homeless sites on Oahu.
So you really gotta think. Deploying robot dogs into the streets to monitor the homeless population to see if they have a fever, and what if it finds exactly what it's looking for? What happens then? Because we know in New York City, the NYPD deployed the DigiDog Canine.
That thing is creepy.
And the police eventually had to retire him because he was terrifying the residents. But let's not forget about China's biggest bot problem, online robots on social media, but especially Twitter. Because if you know me, I'm just a commentary channel on YouTube with a very small following on Twitter. But just look at my followers there. Yeah, I'm sure it's just a coincidence that all these model-tier Chinese women with the usernames of first name 123456 all want to follow me, and they all want to desperately crawl in my DMs to get my personal information. And they all have access to professional cameras, personal trainers, but don't seem to know more than 5 people in real life to follow them on Twitter. Although I do appreciate that this channel is important enough that bot accounts need to monitor me online. And it would...
So I wanted to stop there because this is not a surprising thing. Agents are really a thing, and it wouldn't be surprising to try to get information just by quote unquote using women. And for this, they would use any tactic, any way to scope you out, use this against you. And this is not going off course of the video, of course, because this all ties together. Because there's a plan after plan with all these things that's going on. And he even said it. When the U.S. is going to use it. So they're going to try to use these things to track people down, start a whole riot, or even when martial law kicks in, they have facial recognition, they have your information, they'll know if you're going to be compliant or not, and if not, they're going to just end you on the spot. Or if they want to just take you, they can. They can use anything neutralizing inside those things. So this is why we tell these things. First and foremost, I want to start with Joel 3:9. It says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up." So this is what we are doing now, because we got to reach out to the hopeful elect, because a lot of these people are thinking they're in a time of peace when they are not, because we are in a time of war, especially since with us not being in our rightful rulership, we've been in a war. But for the people that's not awakened to this truth and who are maybe searching for answers are in a time of peace. When they're awoken, they're noticing who their enemy is, why they can't rest, and so on and so forth. We know we have the understanding we're in a time of war. So that's why we out here to wake up the hopeful elect to seek our salvation. No, we're not telling anybody to go and fight against these people, because we don't have none of this. We don't have none of their technology. We gotta wait for the Lord. That's why it's a war. It's a spiritual war. Because Esau is not only dealing with a physical war, he's dealing with a spiritual war as well. He's got to deal with us. He's going to try to fight up against the Lord. And he doesn't understand that it's futile. But that's where he's attacking. Esau is smart through Satan, which is funneled through Lord YAHAWAHSHI'S. It's a physical war on the attack on the spiritual war, which spiritual wars are much stronger than physical. So, with all these things that's going on, we out here to tell these people, primarily the hopeful elect that may be out there that's still trying to search for the answers, and of course the brethren that's also of the hopeful elect. We don't know who's of the elect, so that's one thing I like to say. But that's why we try our best to make sure we can escape things like this, and primarily the missiles, because we don't want to end up like these people. A lot of these people are going to end up dead because of ignoring the facts that these are things that's going to happen. They put their trust into Egypt, and this is what they get. Now they get robot facial recognition eating bots. This is what you get. Robots that can literally get placed with either a gun, and then robots that can literally eat your corpse. And I believe, because I wouldn't be surprised if they probably put this into World War III when they fight each other. But this is primarily for inside their own kingdoms, when there's riots that break out. Not just in China, but in Russia, America, any other place. If they confront it to each other, they will. Because they know with wars comes casualties. With casualties comes riots. Because now people find out that these people that's been sent to war don't come back at all. Then people get a fit. Resources in society is low. In a recession, really. And martial law. People don't like being in martial law. They don't like having to be detained. Because what did Esau do? He made everybody pretty much spoiled and comfortable. You take away that comfortability, everybody starts losing their mind. You tell them they gotta stay inside the house. Meanwhile, they don't have enough to maintain enough money to maintain their lifestyle. Bills could be higher to the point they can't even pay for it. So gas electric get cut off. So Esau's going to have a problem for everything that comes away. So this is Isaiah 32:7. It says the instruments also, actually no, Salakia. Um, yeah, I'm gonna start at 36. It says, "For the vile person will speak villainy," and it says, "and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against the Lord." And Esau is uttering error against the Lord because he's saying he can fight up against him. Now, this can primarily go to our people as well, because our people has been known to come against the Lord. But you equate it how you will, that's in edification. It says, "To make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail." It says, "The instruments also of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right." So when we go into that word churl, let me see right here. It says scoundrel. So you know, like a scoundrel, like how should I say, like a thief, or like a, you know, I'm pretty sure you get the understanding of what scoundrel is, but like a thief or a home, or someone that's just like a rebel, really, in a sense. So, or pretty much like a dishonest person, or you get the point. So going back into it, when you go into, we could clearly see Esau's really a scoundrel. When you go into instruments, it says, let's see, it says implement of hunting, of war, of music, of labor, of oxen, yoke. So it says the instruments of the churl are evil. So the instruments of a scoundrel, the instruments of a hunting of war or music, labor, like your, pretty much like how Esau uses his weapons of war, but then also with the way how he implements music in this society, how it's all fucked up, or even how he does the presidency thing. He sets up spokesmen to give pretty speeches, promises that he don't keep. So when you go into it, it says it says he deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words. And like I said, he does all these things. He promises things, he tries to make people feel comfortable, but then he comes out with shit like this: a eating robot, a people eating robot. He comes out with movies that tell these things that's going to happen because the Lord ultimately gives him these ideas, and it happens. You have Terminator. Guess what? They're making a robot called Omega. What makes you think they won't turn into the actual Terminator? All these things that we've been saying that these people refuse to hear. Guess what? Esau, again, it's only meant for the hopeful elect to get this, but a lot of people that are the 2/3 are not going to see this. They're going to ignore it. They're going to turn a blind eye, and it's just like, screw it. But then they'll get mad when things don't go their way. Yeah, they'll have a so-called protest, which is really a riot, because gas price went up. Because now we're starting to head into World War III. Because of the virus we had to stay indoors, and people wanted to riot about that. And then the riots get dumber and dumber as they go along. And then within these riots, people shooting each other. How does that work? But that goes to show you how big of a fall this really is going to be. How people will snap in an instant, especially when this comes out. You heard it in the clip. New York had a robot dog coming out and they said they had to put it away because it was terrifying. Just the local people there. So that tells you something. When they start implementing them coming out with just the sniper dogs and the eating robot, it's gonna get real feisty in here. It's gonna get real nasty, and people won't see it coming. But that's why I like reading that first scripture I read, because we are out there only to wake up the hopeful elect, to show what the Lord has been gifting us the vision of, just prophecy, to foresee, to tell these things, to show why these things are happening, until the Lord comes back and blow this bitch up. But that's all I have going into that. So Lord willing, this was a little edifying. And with that, shalom.